breast chicken. Have a holly jolly Christmas at Foster's.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Wednesday, the 10th day of December 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating in a type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. If you're traveling from the eastern end of the island this morning, eastern districts, you may find that the traffic is probably going to be slow. And you probably say, well, how much slower can it get? Well, this morning, after 6 o'clock, there was, I would classify it as a fender bender in the Rubis, around the countryside Rubis area there, where new bus stop has been located. Seemed to be a fender bender there. As a result of that, traffic started to back up real early this morning. And once that starts, then it basically continues, until traffic eases up, usually, I guess, around about after 8 minutes to 9 as well. So, again, if you're traveling from the east and if you notice that the traffic is moving slower than usual, that could be the reason for it, because once it starts to get backed up, like I said, then it continues throughout the morning. Just ensure that you exercise caution, exercise patience as well. Don't get frustrated. Frustration is not going to get you there any faster. It may get the heart rate up a little bit, as well. And you never know what may happen in those circumstances. So be cool out there. Take it easy. Take your time and just go with the flow as well. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery A big shout out again this morning to our colleague, Mr. Joel Wilson as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to be hosting this show. You're welcome to join us in conversation. If you want to call in, right now we're having some issues with some of our phone lines. So if you're calling from a flow number, you can call in on the 1-800-534-8255 number. That is 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037. Other numbers, the 949-6990 number is definitely not operational, and the WhatsApp number 925-3261 is iffy. So just try the two numbers, 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037. Of course, you can also send us a voice note on the WhatsApp number, which is 925-3261. Send us a WhatsApp number on that as well. So let's start off with the birthday greetings today. And we want to wish Mr. Harvey Stevenson happy birthday today. And of course, birthday greetings are coming from his wife, but I'm sure that all of his friends, including all of us here at Radio Cayman, would want to wish Mr. Harvey Stevenson a happy birthday also. He is 92 years of age today. Happy birthday to Mr. Harvey Stevenson. Also, Miss Mary Miles celebrating a birthday today, and happy birthday greetings are coming from Alice, Orrett, Kimberly, as well as Miss Gwyneth Forbes and her husband as well. So again, happy birthday greetings going out to Miss Mary Miles, coming from Alice, Orrett, Kimberly, Miss Gwyneth Forbes, and her Miss Gwyneth's husband. Let's look at other birthdays. Robert Sutherland celebrating a birthday today. Alvin Danielle also celebrating a birthday today. Yesterday, R.H. Barton. That was Richard. Mr. Richard Barton celebrated his birthday yesterday as well. So happy belated birthday to Mr. Richard Barton. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record, and we will give them a shout out. Also, Miss Debbie. Miss Debbie is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Miss Debbie, coming from her family, as well as Ava, Miss Ava Connor, 2.5 years, 2 3/4 years of age. Ava will be 3 years on the 16th of March. Next year as well. So happy birthday to Miss Debbie. And of course, last week her son Javon celebrated his birthday as well. So folks, don't forget now, if you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us right here on For the Record. We will give them a birthday shout out. It does not appear as if we will have anyone in the studio this morning from the opposition, but we will have the deputy leader of the opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, on the phone after the 8 o'clock news. He will spend some time with us on the phone this morning as well. Don't forget also that the Parliament will meet today. I think that meeting is scheduled for 2 p.m. this afternoon. And just to let you know that it won't be carried live by Radio Cayman, but it will be It will be on our Facebook page, though. And, of course, it will be rebroadcast tonight as well. Meanwhile, you can also follow it on CIG TV live as well. And, of course, we know that there are several bills that will come up during the course of that meeting. So let's see what our other headlines are as far as some of our online or print media. Cayman Compass proposed the law aims to bring new subsea cable to Cayman. And of course, we hear more and more complaints about some of the service providers here in the Cayman Islands and the whole issue of bandwidth and everything else. And in this day and age where we see even in developed countries, even in the United States, those remote areas now are being serviced through other means like Starlink and everything else. So one wonders whether or not we do need the overseas, the underwater cable, undersea cable, or whether or not we could use other technology. I'm not an expert in that field, but I will read the article and see what it says as well. But certainly we see other areas that are facing those types of challenges using other forms of technology as well. Also in the news, in the Compass, Premier seeks to improve Cayman-India investment links. And of course, we continue to see in the Cayman Islands the Indian population expanding as well. So those links will really be important. Also, the ICT consumer protection to be beefed up, Orrett says. Another article, and this one may be of interest to some Caymanians who are still involved in spearfishing. Government to clarify spear gun licensing after cabinet discussion. And of course, on Sunday we had the Cayman Marathon. So there's an article there about the Cayman Marathon hits a new high with 1,650 participants. And that, of course, was this past Sunday was the Cayman Marathon. And I believe I saw an article somewhere where some 300 overseas participants had registered for it as well. Again, one way of attracting more tourists, more visitors to our island as well. One more topic before we go to the news. For those of you who may have the need to visit Customs and Border Control offices at 94A Elgin Avenue. That is right opposite the old government administration building known as the Glass House. There's a press release that reads that the Customs and Border Control Service, CBC, advises the public that its offices located on 94A Elgin Avenue will close early at 1 p.m. today, Wednesday, the 10th of December, 2025, to accommodate a staff function. So they will close at 1 o'clock. Says normal business hours will resume tomorrow, Thursday, the 11th of December, 2025. They're asking you to kindly note that all other offices in Grand Cayman remain open, and services in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman will not be affected by this early closure. They have added some operational guidance for customers, members of the public with urgent or time-sensitive matters at this time, location are encouraged to visit before 1 p.m. on Wednesday the 10th to avoid any delay. So if you have any time-sensitive matters, then you need to go into, for that location, which is 94A Elgin Avenue, you need to do that before 1 o'clock. Of course, for assistance, you can contact CBC Customer Service. Their number is 649-4579, or you can email them at cbc.onlinesupport@gov.ky. And of course, they apologize for any inconvenience due to this temporary closure that this temporary closure may cause, and they appreciate the public's understanding and cooperation. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. We do have a caller on the line, so we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
The Bay Islands of the northern shores of Honduras, including Utila, Rotan, and Guanaja or Panaca, along with the islets of Elaine, Barbarat, and Murat, saw a rather rapid and dramatic settlement of Caymanians following emancipation in the Cayman Islands. By 1844, so many Caymanians were arriving that disagreements were constant. Only 5 years prior, in 1839, a contingent of convicts and soldiers representing Honduran interests were sent to Port Royal Rotan to establish Honduran sovereignty over the migrant Caymanians. The action was met with a swift response by Superintendent Colonel Alexander MacDonald from Belize, who sailed on the HMS Rover to Rotan. After sending the convicts and soldiers back, he hoisted the Union Jack after removing the flag of the Central American Federation. Tensions appeared to also arise between the settlers themselves, and around 1850, a public surveyor had to be appointed to measure off land for the newly arrived stakeholders.
Information from this historical vignette was sourced from Founded Upon the Seas, A History of the Cayman Islands and Their People by Michael Creighton and the New History Committee.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Yeah, let me tell you, no AC when I was a boy. I still remember just how good an ice cold Coca-Cola was.
The part is, the coolest moms and dads always had Coca-Cola or parties.
The sound when you pop the top, and the fizzle, and that, after that first sip.
Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, that ice cold bubbly. Coca-Cola, still a Cayman classic.
This is For the Record.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going to a caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning to you, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning. How art thou?
I am good.
Great.
Everything is good. Beautiful morning.
Yes, it is. It is. Not as cool as yesterday, but still nice.
Yeah. And then it heats up during the day. It don't take long to heat up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, see, just two things I wanted to mention. The first one is I hope that the government or whoever is in charge of this department re-implement the idea of hiring or creating a job for Caymans who's abroad studying on Cayman scholarship, where when they come back, they have to work for the government for a period of time before they can move on to the private sector, or they would have an option of paying back the government for whatever funds they have spent on their scholarship. And they can do that. They have an idea of everybody that is overseas studying and what they're studying for. So if there's a contract come up for renewal and they know there's a kid coming home, then they should only renew that contract for a short period of time and put that individual to work alongside that person to move them into their position whenever that short contract then have been expired. And then I want to touch a little bit on Cayman Airways. Everybody in love with Cayman Airways, and anytime that there's a supplementary, it's have never been denied, because once they go down to the parliament, no matter how much they want, they get, because we got love for Cayman Airways, like how Jesus got for sinners. So I would like for a minister, this minister or whoever, to look into the reason why, we train up or they become trained up, but they get their hours, they get experience from flying Cayman Airways to become captains. But you just don't study to be a captain. You got to get the hours first on the belt. So that is the most important thing of becoming a captain, of moving up. So once that happened, I'm noticing that we're losing a lot of our pilots, which we so much love, because we all say, hey, if Cayman pilots are flying, we're going. No matter what weather, if they're up front, we feel comfortable that we're going to fly. So we're losing our good experienced pilots, because if they wasn't experienced and had good resume, those major airlines overseas wouldn't be hiring them.
That's true.
You see what I mean? So that mean they're the top they're the top guns, right? And we're losing them to far away places. So I want a study to be done to see what's the reason for our nice pilots to be leaving this jurisdiction, where we like to say that is one of the best places in the world, to go so far away from the rest of their family. And I even know of former ministers that have family members who have left and gone far away to fly for other carriers. So I want a study to be done to see what is the reason why they're leaving. If it's because of lack of salary, a short pay, we always give them supplementary. They always get 12, 15 million, all kind of millions.
I think there's
the case.
I think there's a shortage of pilots worldwide. So it puts those pilots in a position where they can really negotiate much higher salaries. So financially, the opportunities overseas may be more attractive in some instances.
That's what I'm saying. They offer $10, we offer 15. Let's keep our pilots.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You see, as soon as one of our pilot or a couple of our nice pilots leave, we gotta replace them with overseas pilots. So how we can find overseas pilots then come here? And we don't do, just because they got their hours, we don't know what their social background are. You know what I mean? I don't feel good having no plane with a bunch of them. That's why I don't fly no other airline except Cayman Airways. I got to go somewhere else. So, if that's the case then, and we all given these supplementaries, let's see what it is that the pilots are asking for, and let's see if we can match it, because I do not feel good us losing our good pilots. They are good pilots, because people are dying to get them. And when they go to those faraway countries, they always end back up in, some of them are now back in the United States, or see where they scrutinize you even much more. Yeah. So if they can go and fly in the Americas, we should try and keep those pilots. And another thing I want us to, because whenever our captains leave, you just can't stick a first officer in the left seat. You got to be a captain to go in that left seat. So that means then we got somebody from outside to come in to fill that spot. And usually when they come, they don't want to leave.
Okay. Lord Graham, we got to go, but I want you to hear this before we go to our 8 o'clock news. One of our listeners wrote in and said, Cayman Airlines pilots are taking other jobs because they are able to travel the world and gain global experience. Person says, my brother is one of them. They love flying and want to see more than just New York City, Tampa, Miami, etc. It's not all about the money. Cayman Airlines pays well for what they do. I want to thank that listener for that. And of course, Lord Graham, after the 8 o'clock news, if you want to call back and If there's anything that you want to refute what this writer has, this listener has written, or if you want to comment on it, we will welcome you to do so as well. I want to thank that listener for sharing that first-hand information with us as well. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is 2 minutes past 8.
Fill your cart and win! It's the 30K Jolly Grocery Giveaway at Foster's. This Christmas, we're spreading some holly jolly cheer by filling one lucky shopper's cart with $10,000 worth of groceries. Just purchase any 2 specially marked products from now until December 24th for a chance to win your share of $30,000 worth of groceries. Go to fosters.ky/jolly for more info. Thanks to CeraVe, Maybelline, Dove, Dial, Vaseline, L'Oreal, Quaker, and Frito-Lay. Have a holly jolly Christmas at Foster's.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman-Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. In addition to the Immigration Transition Amendment and Validation Bill, MPs are set to debate the Submarine Cable Telecommunications Resilience Bill, which will help government tackle the country's aging undersea internet cable. The bill authorizes the National Coalition for Caymanians Administration to partner with a commercial entity to construct and operate a new submarine cable, quote, enhancing the resilience of critical information and communication technology infrastructure. The bill, if passed, will set out minimum agreement safeguards, mandate that the partner selection adhere to the Procurement Act, and authorizes government to pay a fixed sum to the commercial partner in multiple tranches over the project's duration. For more information, you can head to gov.ky/governmentinparliament. The House resumes today at 2 p.m., and Radio Cayman will be re-airing the meeting at 6:30 p.m. tonight. MPs approve a massive budget increase for sports services, growing from $2.6 million in 2025 to more than $5 million annually in the next 2 financial years. Sports Minister, the Honourable Isaac Rankin.
We eagerly anticipate the completion of the review of the national youth and national sports policies in the 2026-27 budget cycle. These policies will provide a strategic and comprehensive direction for the development of youth and sports initiative in the Cayman Islands. With the final review, we will finalize further consultation for implementation of these frameworks.
In terms of upcoming capital projects,
the Minister expects to allocate $5.3 million in 2026 and $6.9 million in 2027 towards major development works that will elevate our national facilities to world-class standards. Key projects include Donovan Rankin Sports Complex, development of a modern player pavilion, improved lighting and upgrade amenities to enhance local and regional sporting events.
Mr. Rankin told MPs in Finance Committee last month that comprehensive renovations are planned for the central changing rooms, grounds, fencing, and practice field at Ed Bush Stadium. The Annex Field and Haig-Bodden Fields are also set to get new turf.
The National Stadium Revitalization Project Phase 1, implementation of a master plan addressing parking, grandstands, field, and track upgrades and restroom facilities to transform the site into a premier national venue.
Meanwhile, the budget for sports programs, that's funding for the, quote, core sports of athletics, basketball, football, netball, squash, swimming, and volleyball, as well as the Cayman Islands Olympic Committee, remains the same at $1.2 million per year. And as Caymanians look for meaningful Christmas gifts, a locally written history of turtlemen and schooner builders is helping families reconnect with their seafaring roots. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
Author Susie Soto spent 6 years turning seafarers' memories into the book A History of Turtlers and Schooners of the Cayman Islands.
Some of the stories in here make you cry. Some are just incredible.
The book began as a project by the Catboat Club and Maritime Heritage Foundation, but lay dormant for a time until Susie was asked to help finish it. She says the stories are meant to show young Caymanians the strength they've inherited from generations of turtlers who built both families and the early economy. Veteran broadcaster and seafarer Mr. Loxley Banks says turtling was once a key industry, earning foreign exchange long before financial services and tourism.
All of my parents, grandparents, and they were all turtlers. In fact, two of my great-grandfathers were lost at sea. And what people don't realize that, a lot of conversation goes on about the financial services and tourism. Turtle was one of the main pillars of this economy for quite a number of years.
The book also traces how turtlers went on to become crew and later captain ships around the world. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
A history of turtlers and schooners of the Cayman Islands is available now at the Book Nook, the National Museum, Camana Bay's Next Chapter, the Seafarers Association, and the National Gallery. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The Nobel Peace Prize ceremony is taking place in Oslo. The Venezuelan opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, is not there to collect her award, but the Nobel Committee says she's on her way to Oslo after months hiding in Venezuela. More than 500,000 people have now fled their homes in Thailand and Cambodia as cross-border fighting continues there. Malaysia's Prime Minister says he's spoken to the leaders of both countries and they're open to continue negotiations. 100 Nigerian children who were abducted from a Catholic school last month have been reunited with their families. They were rescued in a security operation. More than 150 others are still being held captive. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
'Tis the season at Vigoro, and we've got all your festive favorites. From Christmas ornaments to decorations, succulents to ceramics, we've got gifts galore. Pots, blooms, orchids, garden accessories, furniture, even fairy gardens for the little ones. Make it a Vigoro Christmas with a gift that'll be treasured forever. Merry Christmas from Vigoro.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
The holiday season is here, and St. Ignatius Catholic Church is bringing the fun and cheer. Join us for the annual Christmas fundraiser on Saturday, December 13th at 7:15 p.m. on the church grounds. Enjoy Christmas treats, live entertainment, and Carpe Diem singing your favorite holiday carols. And don't blink, the grand prize drawing at 8:45 p.m. could make you $25,000 in CI richer. Tickets are just $25 available at the church office and from members at supermarkets across Grand Cayman. No need to be present to win. All proceeds go to St. Ignatius Church projects, facilities, and scholarship fund. Come for the joy, stay for the fun. Saturday, December 13th at 7:15 p.m. St. Ignatius Church on Walkers Road. Let's make the holiday season unforgettable.
The Passport and Corporate Services Office is advising the public that its office will close at 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, the 17th of December 2025 to facilitate a staff function. The office will reopen to the public on Thursday, the 18th of December at 9 a.m. For more information, call 345-649-7678 or email passportandcorporate@gov.ky.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 78 degrees. Relative humidity is 94%. The barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and rising. The wind is northeast at 2 knots. Overnight low was 74. Synopsis indicate a stationary front located across the extreme northwest Caribbean and a surface trough across the southwest Caribbean will maintain the chance for some localized to isolated showers as light winds and residual moisture remain trapped in the region. Satellite imagery show a few clouds across the Cayman area with isolated convection noted west of Grand Cayman. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of afternoon showers, and temperatures will rise to the upper 80s with a heat index near 96 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be easterly at 5 to 10 knots, becoming light and variable at times, and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Forecast for tonight calling for mainly clear skies with a 30% chance of showers and temperatures dipping to the mid-70s tonight. Your winds will be light and variable. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Low tide in just a few minutes at 8:18. High tide this afternoon at 2:45 and a low tide again tonight at 9:43. The sun will set this evening at 5:47 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:50. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through tomorrow morning. Thereafter, an increase in winds and seas are expected as a ridge of high pressure builds across the northern Caribbean, increasing the pressure gradient across the region. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Brit K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Brit K, where people come first.
Starting January 1, 2026, the minimum wage in the Cayman Islands will increase to CI $8.75 per hour. This change is designed to ensure fair pay and to support workers across the islands. Whether you're an employee or an employer, it is important to understand how this adjustment affects you. Learn more about the new rate, how it's applied, and what it means for your workplace by visiting gov.ky/DLP or email minimumwage@gov.ky.
Busy day? Need the perfect furniture without leaving home? Ashley Furniture Home Store has you covered. Chat one-on-one with our helpful sales team through our WhatsApp in-stock catalog at 916-2323. And here's the festive bonus. Now through December 21st, enter our Christmas giveaway for a chance to win gift certificates of $4,000, $2,000, or $1,000. Visit our showroom at 360 Dorsey Drive. Call 943-2323 or WhatsApp us today and make your holiday home ready and happy.
Healthcare Pharmacy, caring about your health for the past 25 years. Radio Cayman's premier health show.
Alzheimer's and dementia, are they the same disorder?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Is heard on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. and on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor, where they care about your health. Transfer and refill your prescription online. Visit healthcarepharmacy.com or call 947-8900. Healthcare Pharmacy, now with a second location in Governor's Square. Healthcare Pharmacy, where they care about your health.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning to you. Let's check in with traffic, see what's slowing, what's flowing. Coming from the east, traffic is steady further up on Shamrock Road and coming off of Rex Creighton Boulevard. Further down, bumper-to-bumper traffic As you approach the Linford-Pearson Highway, traffic is steady. And on Crew Road, steady traffic heading to Georgetown. Heading east on Crew Road, traffic is moving at a moderate pace. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, steady traffic, as well as Agnes Way. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions and flowing pretty good coming from the West Bay four-way stop. Coming off of the Esterly Tibbetts Highway, steady traffic continuing on to North Sound Road. Expect some delays and heading towards the Industrial Park area. Traffic is moving at a moderate pace. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12 o'clock. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Kirk Freeport's annual $40,000 sweepstakes is back just in time for your holiday shopping. Simply spend $100 at your favorite Kirk Freeport store before noon on Christmas Eve for a chance to win all season long, with cash prizes of up to $5,000, premium gifts, and a Rolex watch giveaway. The more you shop, the better your chances to win. Get gifts for everyone on your list at Kirk Freeport, with duty-free prices, zero shipping delays, and the chance to win a piece of the $40,000 sweepstakes. View full details on kirkfreeport.com.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Here's a CUC advisory. Customers are advised of a scheduled outage on Sunday, December 14th between 8 a.m. and 12 noon for Snooze Lane off West Bay Road, which will include the Queen's Court Shopping Plaza and 7 Mile Shops. For more information, please contact CUC's customer service team at 949-5200. Email service@cuc.ky or visit our website at www.cuc-cayman.com.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio, but we will have a telephone interview with the deputy leader of the opposition during the course of the show as well. Meanwhile, we still have some more birthday shout-outs. So another birthday shout-out this morning for Miss Mayor Miles. It's her beautiful wife and mom's birthday today, Mary Miles. Please send her special and blessed birthday greetings from her husband, Bunny, children, Ruth Ann, Chris, Donna, and Tiffany, sons-in-law, Greg and Julian, grandchildren, Aaron, Taj, Tori, Omari, Kai, and Nathan, and from other special family and friends. Many thanks again. And of course, the entire Tropical Gardens area, I'm sure, would want to wish Miss Mary a happy birthday today as well. Also, we had another birthday greeting coming from Miss Ruth James to Miss Mary Miles. Happy birthday. May God grant you many more years ahead. Enjoy your special day, and may God richly bless you as well. That's coming from Miss Ruth James. Let me make sure that I have covered all. So earlier this morning, I mentioned Mr. Harvey Stevenson celebrating his birthday. And, you know, for those of you who know, and I'm sure that there are those of you who may not know, you know, Mr. Harvey Stevenson, one of the pioneers in the insurance industry here in the Cayman Islands, as well as banking, but also, you know, heavily involved, very dedicated to the agricultural sector, you know, as well. He has given a lot to the Cayman Islands, and we are extremely grateful and thankful for him for all that he has done, and we wish and hope and pray for him to see many, many more years, you know, as well. And great that he's able to celebrate his birthday today. Miss Susan, that call should be coming in anytime soon now. Just want to remind a caller, either the 1-800-534-8255 number or 949-8037. The other numbers are not operational. And those of you who are listening, if you want to send in messages or questions, please use our WhatsApp number. You can't call in on that number either. Technical difficulties there, but you certainly can send us WhatsApp messages, 925-3261. So earlier I was talking about subsea cables, and I wanted to get more information about it. So I Googled then, you know, some of you may use AI in other fashions. I still Google the importance of subsea cables for communications. And there's an article here. This one was written on actually 8th of June, 2025. Foundation News, Research and Resilience. Why Subsea Cables Matter, the Hidden Backbone of the Internet and the Race for Sustainability. And it says that when we think about the Internet, we often imagine satellites and Wi-Fi signals floating through the air. But the real workhorses of global connectivity lie hidden beneath the ocean's surface. Subsea cables, powerful lines sketching across the seafloor carry over 99% of international internet traffic, making the world more connected than ever before. So, you know, we see the importance of that. I think we are now joined by the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Mr. Bryan, good morning, sir. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Good morning to your listeners, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful Christmas season. As you said this morning, things are a little bit cooler than it was, or the cool weather is coming in, even though it gets hot in the day. I'm quite sure Good and All Rest will be coming in cold front to cool things down. Normally we would be in, the official opposition would be in today, but obviously we are all trying to prepare for this sitting at the House. So we're not going to come into the studio today, but I thought I'd give you a call to give you a preview as to today's sittings and educate the public as to what to expect in Parliament today, if that's okay with you.
Excellent, excellent. Go right ahead, sir.
All right, well, so as you may recall, and the listening public may recall, we started the third meeting of the 2025-2026 session of Parliament and postponed that sitting because the government had to do various travels for a number of different reasons. Example of that is JMC that happened in London, and some other travels in the Asian markets with the Premier and the Minister of Finance. And then they had the meeting in the UK for Cayman Day. Mm-hmm. So they postponed it for those 2.5 weeks, and now we're back in Parliament to continue sitting and the rest of the details on the order paper to be resolved is 3 major bills. I sent you the order paper earlier just to give you an overview. So today we will be dealing with the 3 bills: the Administrative Appeals Tribunal Bill, the Submarine Cable Telecommunications Resilience Bill, which you were just speaking of, and the third and probably most known one is the Immigration Transition Amendment and Validation Bill. So there's obviously a lot of attention on that bill that we will be discussing and probably have some large debate around. There, from a opposition perspective, there's not much controversy around the first 2. Maybe a bit of clarity on some parts here and there, and I'm quite sure the Attorney General will speak to the Administrative Appeals Tribunal Bill. And the submarine cable is one more of a formality for government to proceed forward with the acquisition, and I think they plan to do a kind of a PPP option, but the laws doesn't quite allow it to happen now, and this amendment will allow government to go down that direction. And you were speaking about the importance of having access to submarine cable, particularly from an international perspective, where, you know, terrorists are now starting to attack people's line of communication. It's important that we secure that because it's so integral to our success from a financial services, communications, connections in everyday life for people. In our current undersea cable is going to reach its end of life within the next decade, I believe, if my memory serves me well. But ultimately, we had to start thinking about it now. It was something that we started from the last administration, so obviously full support for the minister to continue down that direction of securing the future in respect to submarine cable connections. For the immigration bill, unfortunately, there is a little bit of controversy, not necessarily by the foundation of what's within the bill, but we, in opposition, we've tried our endeavor best not to make the immigration bill be one of controversy or disagreement. And as the shadow minister on behalf of opposition, I've reached out to the minister way before it even came to the sitting of the House in the last meeting, trying to, you know, coordinate to show a unified front to the country on where we stand with immigration, considering that over 95% of the current bill was or is foundations that we created in our white paper. And I say we, meaning the former administration, which was made up of people on the government side and people on the opposition side. So there's not a lot to disagree about in respect to content, but we are having some problems with the process. And process matters because it gives clarity, understanding as to where you're going, how things will be implemented, and scrutiny. Unfortunately, we were promised in the last time we were in Parliament that there were a series of amendments to the amendments, and that we were promised to get them. Sadly, we only got them last evening. So it would probably be just over 24 hours since we've gotten them and haven't had the appropriate amount of time to scrutinize. As you are aware, the official opposition has no access to legal drafting talent to examine what this means. And we normally go through the process, as we've said before. You know, we find our own way, whether we find independent legal minds as to the intent. Now, by all means, we are, you know, experienced legislators, but writing in legalese means a different thing. It's not something that the average common person would be able to fully grasp. Even sometimes there's complications in even the courts trying to interpret the intention of the structure of the sentence within any one clause. I hope that's not confusing for the public, but it's essential that what the government says it's trying to do is captured within the sentence structure within the amendment of the law. And that takes time and understanding to be able to deliver and say, okay, yes, we agree with you here. This is what the intention is, and we support it. Now, bearing in mind, the government does have the numbers, so it doesn't matter whether we agree or disagree. The government can simply pass it. But in order to deliver that unified approach, we thought it was important for us to have that discussion. And sadly, we are understanding that some of these amendments was only heard by the current government's caucus up to just last evening. And just to give you an idea, it's a substantial amount of amendments, over 17 amendments to a set of amendment bill that's over 30 amendments to the original bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that sounds confusing, but you have a law called the Immigration and Transition Act. You're proposing 30-odd amendments, and now you're making 17 amendments to those amendments to the law. Now, just creating any law in the first place is already a complicated process, but now you have amendments to the amendments, and we have to figure that out, and we've only been given the information just yesterday. That is problematic. And we have some other concerns about the fact that we have not seen the regulations, even if it's in draft format, which would be supported with these amendments to give clarity to the outcome of what you want within the changes. Because you will not know what the intent of the primary legislation change you're doing without the supporting regulation, at the very least in its draft format, to say this is what will be coming. And these are some of the fundamental problems that we have, because you can't expect support or an agreement on something without showing the whole picture. So it's like a puzzle. You want to see a sunset, but you want to give a person, 25% of the pieces of the puzzle and expect them to see the whole bigger picture. So it is becoming problematic. Now, I recognize that everything I said there just sounds like a bunch of disagreement, but it's the process of scrutiny to make sure that we're doing this thing right, because immigration is a very important subject matter for the Cayman Islands, because we depend heavily so much on outside labor, but also the issue of persons becoming Caymanian is such a sensitive matter, which we have to do right the first time.
Okay, Mr. Bryan, sorry to interrupt you, but we need to take a commercial break, so I'm going to ask you to hang in there while we take this quick commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay my bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price, and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, and just to let you know, we have the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, MP Mr. Kenneth Bryan, on the phone with us this morning as opposed to being in the studio. So if you're trying to call in, we're asking you to please hold off for now, because of some of the challenges that we're having with some of our phone lines. We're not able to have a three-way conversation that we would normally be able to engage with Mr. Bryan. So I'm asking, for your understanding in that area as well. Mr. Bryan, not wanting to sound as if I'm, making any excuses for any entity, but when we look at the order paper, it appears as if the immigration bill is likely to be the last one to be presented. Does that in any way give you any sort of breathing room to be able to look at some of these additional amendments?
Well, I don't know. It could be. Obviously, we're going to do everything we can to examine it.
Mm-hmm.
We've offered our concern about the crammed way of addressing it. I mean, we've had almost 3 weeks break, and these things could have been discussed with the opposition. We continuously asked for them, and to the last 11th hour that we received them. So by all means, we still have to do our job, and the government still has the numbers. So we will, if the bill is heard today, we will do our endeavor best to try to give it as much scrutiny as we can.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But we cannot take the responsibility to be in agreement if later on you find loopholes within the structured amendments, where we're hearing from HR professionals and private sector that there's already loopholes that they have found to ultimately undermine the intent of what the government is doing. This is when you don't have a proper scrutiny process. Legal drafting is a very special skill set that you have to deliver, and the examination, the questions, the surety of the structure is a process of refining so you ultimately get what you want. Now, that may sound like, okay, man, we need to get this thing done, and I agree we do. But when we had time to do that scrutiny process so it doesn't cause any delay, it was not taken advantage of. Now, whatever justification for that not happening, I understand the government is busy, they travel and so forth, but you are in the middle of Christmas now, and you're rushing through things that you didn't do the proper processing to do. Now, I'm finding that this administration is circumventing a lot of conventional process for democracy. And their scrutiny is there for a reason. Is to make sure that we don't make mistakes when we create laws, and then law firms come in and challenge the government, and then they win the cases. Say, oh, you didn't do it right, the drafting here, or what you intended to say here is not what you actually wrote. We were hearing quotes like that. I've had an HR lawyer that as we reviewed some of the things that in the original amendment, saying what the government is saying is going to do is not within the draft itself. And then since then, we've had another 17 more changes. When you have 30 changes to a law and then a substantial 17 more, that's 47 changes to any law. If you have that much amendments, usually, conventionally, the law is pulled because it needs to properly be cleaned up. But immigration is very important, and the people are waiting for these changes. So I understand there's a momentum to let's get this thing done. So I get it. But this is where potential failures happen, and you don't draft the law properly, and then what you have is opportunity for legal challenge and so forth. Bearing in mind, the opposition is in support to 95% of it. We have a little tweak here and there that we're going to propose to the government, which we've already explained to the minister and his drafting team and his support team about some areas we don't agree with, recognizing they are the government, they have the numbers, they don't have to listen to it. The only thing we can do within our power is to express the reasons why we don't agree with it on the floor of the House, in the debate. The public will hear it, the government will hear it, and if they choose not to go forward with it, that is democracy, and that's how it works. So we can express that. Now it's up to the government to decide whether they want to take it into consideration or not. I'm only talking about the right way to go about doing these things. And sometimes you don't want to rush things in hopes to getting it done right away because of the expectation, and then you don't do it right. So that's the biggest criticism thus far. To answer your question about whether over the next 3 days, which the House is scheduled for, which is the 10th, 11th, and the 12th, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with the bill being the last one, whether or not we can clarify these things in committee stage amendments and so forth, maybe I just think that there's a potential chance for us to say, okay, what is it exactly we're trying to rush? Why could we not come back in the middle of January? Give the proper processes that have been skipped to make sure we do this right, to hear the feedback and to go through that process with the official opposition and all opposition members for that fact. Let me not exclude anybody else. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But if the government has other reasons, they can express that. But God forbid something goes wrong and we pass a law that will be challenged later on, the record has to show that we are highlighting the fact that the process is not being done right according to conventions, and you're skipping steps. And these are some of the concerns I had with a I don't know if it's the minister's fault, but he is a new minister to cabinet, and this is a very significant piece of legislation. So it may not be his fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but it does fall squarely in his lap because he's the person who's bringing the bill. So what reasons these were skipped, I can only express our concerns about it and what convention says. So that's where we are. I don't want to dwell too heavily on the negatives, but there is a lot of positives within the bill, which we are in support of. If they choose to move forward with it and not suspend it for another week or so, or maybe a month till January, then we will proceed as we're obligated to do as official opposition.
Would you care to speak to some of those areas that you're in agreement with? Any that you would want to highlight?
Yes, of course. Well, fundamentally, one of the biggest issues that we are seeing or the public is speaking to is marriage as a convenience. I think that's probably one of the top things that we've heard of. I really appreciate, and the opposition agrees to, the onus of proof, a burden of proof is now switched on the applicant as opposed to the department. So it's for you to prove that you're in a marriage that is not of convenience. And the director has the discretion necessary to determine that in his own right. Now, there is concerns about what criteria of discretion is going to be laid out for the director. It can't just be, how he feels today. Oh, I don't feel that. I'm not convinced. Convinced on what? What are the things that will signal? And there should be at least a cheat sheet criteria that you would use within your own policy controls that would determine what would you use to guide your discretion. Because discretion cannot be absolute. Then you can find a person who's having a bad day and say, oh, you know what, I just don't like you, and I have full authority to just say no. It has to be bounded by criteria of your discretion.
And of course, those could... Sorry to interrupt you, but I want to keep your train of thought on it. Of course, those could be addressed in regulations as well in terms of the directions that you give the director, what he should take into consideration when he is exercising his discretion.
Agreed, 100%. And the problem is that the regulations are not coming, so we don't know what they are. So it's hard for you to expect any member of parliament to agree to something without knowing, at least seeing the draft of those regulations beforehand, to say, okay, I see where you're going with this. I'm happy to support it because here's what you intend to bring later on. Because I recognize that it's a lot of work and you'll bring it in stages. But I'm not certain that it's a good practice for something as sensitive as immigration changes to bring it piecemeal because it paints a bigger picture. It's best, the cleanest way to do it is bring all the pieces together at one time so there's a clear picture that everybody understands and everybody's in agreement. Why they don't do that is only for them to explain. That's what I would do if I was the government or the minister or the premier for an administration, is to make sure that there's no misunderstandings and you can catch any potential failings within the law or any loopholes beforehand. Because if you're not seeing it clearly from the get-go, you may miss things, and we don't want legal challenges. Okay. But ultimately, that discretion from the director will help them in this battle against marriage as a convenience, which we know is a significant thing.
Okay. Sorry, I'm going to just interrupt you again just to go to commercial break, and I want to give you some food for thought when we return. So you spoke about the fact of, getting a complete bill and something that will not likely require, changes along the way, once errors, have been identified. But as a former member of a coalition government, how I'd like you to explain to our listening and our viewing audience the pressures that may come to bear, because each member of that coalition, while there may be an agreement, a coalition agreement, each member of that coalition wants to deliver to his or her constituency, as well. And how does that influence when, how quickly, and what bills may be presented to Parliament as well? Folks, with that, we're going to take a commercial break. Also, Mr. Brian, it seems as if the WhatsApp number is maybe working, and I want to invite callers to call in on that number once you let me know when we were able to have a three-way conversation as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we have on the phone line with us the Deputy Leader of the Opposition and Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. Mr. Bryan, I'm going to throw one more question at you. One of our listeners, earlier there was a conversation about Cayman Airways and pilots. And as a former minister with responsibility for Cayman Airways, one of our listeners wanted to know whether or not Cayman Airways has non-Caymanian pilots on their staff.
I think all of our pilots are Caymanian. Sometimes we think that a person may not be Caymanian, but Caymanian by its definition is a person who is either born here to Caymanian parents or a status holder. But I did hear the caller earlier, Lord Graham, and he had some strong points in respect to ensuring that Caymanians get the opportunity to continue to fly. But one of the bittersweet situations is the program I put in place, which offers scholarships specifics for pilots, because we have a national airline there's a lot of Caymanians who are taking the qualifications to become pilots, but we only have so much planes, right? So you may have a lot of kids becoming pilots, and at the very least, even if that means they have a successful job to move on to another airline in the future, you know that there's a Caymanian who has had a successful career, and God forbid, if we have a shortage, we can always call them home to come back home after certain pilots start to retire and so forth. So it's a bittersweet situation where probably you have too many, because I heard that he was speaking about giving them guarantees to have a job to come back home to. It's kind of a bigger fundamental problem that we're having within the civil service as well, because traditionally back in your time, you know, kids were given scholarships and they were all obligated to come back home and work for the service.
Yep.
At the rate of how many Caymanians we have studying, there's just not enough jobs. So that's why eventually that obligation kind of fell away. And it's more about giving them an opportunity to have an education and work in private sector. But if we need them, we can have them for the civil service and the overall public service. So I think that's the best way I can answer that question.
Okay.
But I think you had a question before we went to the break about the difficulties of being in a coalition government.
And having to deliver, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very complicated one. And I'm hoping that is not hindering a proper process for delivery of any legislation. So in that example, like, for example, the Minister for Labor and Immigration is a part of the National Party, while CCP and the Independents are two other factions of the administration. Regardless of what kind of coalition you have, your pressures to deliver should not circumvent the proper process for a clean delivery of legislation that could stand the scrutiny of courts. That's ultimately what we want to do. We want to have its strength legally to ultimately deliver what we want. Now, if those pressures are forcing something, a square peg through a round hole, then I'm concerned. I mean, I must say that those are one of the primary reasons why I decided to join back the People's Progressive Movement, because you want a unified approach moving forward. And the current coalition has agreed that they would be unified moving forward. So if you have a situation where a particular group or a particular member is trying to deliver something they were committed to, rather than if there's other fractions in the government saying, slow down, we're not ready yet, then that's a concern. That's something I'll be really worried about, because then you don't really have the collective position. Once that comes to Parliament, it's supposed to be all agreed upon by each member of government. But I understand that could be conflicting, because I've had those kinds of pressures myself when I was a part of the previous administration. But it's your job, and particularly for the Premier, it's his job to be able to assess that, to say, everybody's together, we're all good, we all have our own priorities, but you know, the minister is supported on this, and therefore we're all together. If that is not happening, then that's not good for the country, because that could be scary, particularly with something as sensitive as immigration. I just wanted to clarify that the sitting of the House also is going to have a number of different reports laid, annual reports, quarterly reports, and so forth, and also the Public Accounts Committee report, which holds the government scrutiny process to the highest. So most people don't pay attention to those, only people who goes into the details, but there's a lot of facts and information that will be laid. There potentially can be some statements by the Honourable Cabinet, its ministers, and the Premier. I expect, at the very least, to hear something back from the Premier in a statement today, particularly on his travels and meetings with the Joint Ministerial Committee, because there have been some significant announcements by the communique that came out from those meetings with potentially some fundamental changes for the overseas territories. And us being one of those, I would like him to give the country an update. In my humble opinion, if I was the Premier, I would have a debriefing with the Leader of Opposition immediately, because when you speak at those meetings, you don't speak just for the government, you speak for all members of Parliament, because if there's any changes, particularly from a constitutional perspective, you have to have the opposition support. So I'm hoping to hear back from him. I've seen where other jurisdictions' leaders have made announcements of good things that have come out of the meetings. I haven't heard anything negative, but any change to the relationship between us and the UK is important for the people to know. So if he doesn't have a statement today or in this sitting, I'll be really disappointed because that's an expectation as the leader of the country to have that. So if they're listening, the opposition expects to hear from you in that respect. In respect to the immigration matters, I'm happy to go to WhatsApp, change over the call from a straight line to WhatsApp so we can interact with the public to hear their thoughts in respect to what has been said thus far.
Okay, we're going to have about 4 minutes before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. That will give an opportunity for us to do that after 9 o'clock. Meanwhile, maybe you want to give us an update on the Scranton Park. What is happening, with that? How is it progressing? Ready for Christmas?
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to be open for Christmas. That was the hope and goal for the 15th of December. But naturally, most things get delayed. Construction and delays happen, scheduling and so forth. But nothing fundamental. It just doesn't seem like it's going to be ready until the end of January. And, it's best to, quite like what I'm saying now, do it right rather than rushing it. So we're going to hopefully have it completed by the end of January. I want to take this opportunity, though, to thank the Honorable Minister, J.E. Banks, who have been so professional. And I must say that I give him a high level of credit as a minister who has put aside all politics. He doesn't have to help deliver this or make sure that, the vision and dream is delivered. But he's ultimately basically said to his team, this is a vision that a former minister had for the Georgetown area. He delivered all the cabinet papers, caucus papers, and that we all agreed with before. I'm happy to have him guide the direction of completion, and then once it's completed, what the deliverables were going to be on the back end. And for him to be able to do that, it tells me so much of his character, and I really look up to him for that. He's so mature of how he's handling this. No politics. It's about the people, and he's been really supportive in allowing me to continue to be involved, because I can be annoying sometimes. I'm always down there by the park checking on this, checking on that. Call me a minister, what's the deal with this?
Micromanaging?
Micromanaging, yeah. So he's been really, really kind, and his team at ministry, again, I want to thank them.
Great.
I'm excited about when the grand opening happens, because I promised the Cayman Islands that when we do this grand opening, I want you to put aside some time to come to it, because you're going to see a bigger vision. There's been so much controversy about this park, but now they're going to be able to see it, feel it, and understand what this will mean, not only for today, not only for Georgetown Central, not only for Georgetown, but also the greater vision of community commitment to seniors, youth, and community connections anyway. And this is going to be a vision that I think a lot of people in the long term will go, I get it now. Sometimes it's hard to deliver that without seeing it, and once they come, they'll see the vision. So I'm excited about that, and I hope that everybody comes when there is the grand opening, and I hope to work closely with the minister as he delivers this dream, not on my behalf, but on the behalf of all the Caymanian people.
Okay, with that, we're going to go to our headline news. Listeners and viewers, if you want to have a conversation with with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, MP, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, try calling in on our WhatsApp number 925-3261. You may wish to do that now while we go to our headline news. This way you will be the first caller on the line when we return. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The Department of Education Services is advising the public that its office is temporarily closed today to allow for building-related safety checks after a motor vehicle incident that occurred at the site Tuesday night.
During the closure, DES staff will be working remotely and all services remain, quote, fully accessible via email and telephone. In international news, the president of Ukraine says they're ready for elections after U.S. President Donald Trump repeated claims Kyiv was, quote, using war to avoid holding them. President Volodymyr Zelensky's 5-year term as president was due to end in May 2024, but elections have been suspended in Ukraine since martial law was declared after Russia's invasion. Speaking to reporters following Trump's comments in a wide-ranging Politico interview, Zelensky said he would ask for proposals to be drawn up which could change the law. Elections could be held in the next 60 to 90 days if security for the vote was guaranteed, with the help of the U.S. and other allies, he said. And sporadic gunfire and explosions have been reported as M23 rebels advance toward a key city in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, in an offensive that has forced thousands to flee across the border into Burundi. Residents and military sources said soldiers were fleeing the assault on the last government-held city in the mineral-rich region. U.S. President Donald Trump brokered a peace deal last week between DR Congo's president and Rwanda's to end the long-running conflict, but fighting has continued. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we have on the telephone with us this morning the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. And he's on the line. We're going to attempt to have a three-way conversations with you or listeners as well. We have encouraged you to call in on the WhatsApp number 925-3261. You may also try 949-8037 as well to see whether or not you're able to get through on that number. Deputy Leader, are you there?
I'm still here.
Okay, let's go to the WhatsApp caller. WhatsApp caller, good morning. Welcome to the landline number. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, morning, OC. Morning, Mr. Bryan. How you doing?
Not too bad, big brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, tell me something. Now, I listened to the opposition. You said supposed to be representing the people, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, election is just going through. Yeah. So, you, Mr. Bryan, was pro-port, right? You know, you run on the thing for the port. I ran marijuana. And the premier, the last premier, the Honorable Juliana O'Connor Conlon, she made sure that it got on the ballot paper, right? And 10,385 registered Caymanian voters, right, voted to decriminalize marijuana. in small amount. Now, it's so funny that your government, because you're part of PPM now, they were the ones that said that we needed to give the gay people their rights. I have nothing against them, because I voted and said that that's their business. But it looked like for some unknown reason, 60% of the voters is being so neglected. If I know this for sure, sir. If you was in your position right now, if 10,385 people had voted for that port that you campaigned for, you would have been marching on the streets of Georgetown, demanding that your people, because this is what I say, my people wanted this, right? But for some reason, the police, man, the same one you going that vote for you, Because I know you're back, and I know, because I raised up Georgetown Central, right? But you see, what happened to the peacemakers? You see, we the ganja smokers. Remember, we go into the land for healing. We look up to the skies for blessings. But you guys looking in a different direction. But then you got to come back to the same people and say, oh, we got to take our time with this. We got to be careful with this. And Canada, I hear some simple Caymanians. Oh, it got ruined, Cayman. But Canada, one of the most prosperous countries in the world. And you know what they said about, this is statistics. Mr. O.C., I know you're very anti-marijuana, but I want you to check this up, because you like to come in with facts. Now they say that since they legalized marijuana in Canada, the use of marijuana in teenagers has declined. Because you know what? It's like the little thrill of the outlaw. The little outlaw thrill is no longer there. Mm-hmm. They're looking at it now, say, well, okay, we can do it now. We're not going to run from the police. And here I am this morning, it's 9 minutes past 9, and I have to go to show up for bail at 10 o'clock this morning, 6 or 7 years gone, for smoking a little bit of ganja in the country where I was born. But I got to tell you something. And I told a lot of the law enforcement agencies, right? When I am dead and gone, they'll have to use drones to get on the food. And they're not going to be able to come out on the road in this beautiful paradise. Because on a billion, a hell on earth. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. Mr. Brian? Okay. We may have lost him there. Hopefully he'll reconnect with us. Meanwhile, another birthday shout out to Mr. Harvey Stevenson. And this person says, and Miss Parchment has said, good morning. I will let, she wanted me to send out birthday wishes to Mr. Harvey. She said that she got to know him while working at the bank. He is a great person. May God continue to bless him abundantly. That's coming from Miss Mary Parchment as well. Yeah. And Miss Esther is sending happy birthday greetings to Miss Mary Miles as well. Deputy Leader of the Opposition, you back with us, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
okay. I'm not sure whether or not you were able to hear everything that our previous caller said.
Yes, I heard everything.
Okay.
So before I respond to him, if I just want to address some minor administrative stuff, I heard the word Mary Miles, who is one of my constituents.
Yeah, in Tropical Gardens.
Yes, an amazing woman. I love her so much. So I want to send special blessings to her today. Okay? In respect to some little minor errors or minor announcements, my colleague, Roy Tatum, will not be in Parliament today, and I don't want it to be a reflection in any capacity of his lack of commitment to Parliament, but unfortunately he's dealing with some personal matters with his family, which is very sensitive, and he had to travel with family today. So I just want to make sure the public don't come to a conclusion. He obviously regrets not being able to be there, but I want to make sure that is known. I'm going to say it again in Parliament, but my thoughts and prayers are with him and his family today. As per the caller, I'm not sure what he was trying to say. I think he's suggesting that I should be out fighting for the two referendums that were successful. And I want to say to him that, yes, he's correct. I have been doing my job as a leader, as the opposition member, holding the government accountable. 3 times thus far, I've asked the government to give us an update on that without them bringing it up themselves. And the latest update is that they're waiting on the Reform Committee, Legislative Reform Committee, to do some drafting as to the implementation of the national lottery as well as to the decriminalization of marijuana. Maybe he's not been paying attention or have missed when I've addressed it in Parliament, but I am committed. It doesn't matter what the topic is. He's 100% correct that people have spoken and have a right to hear what the plan of action moving forward. But he also has to recognize that I'm not in power. So you can't hold me accountable for that part. It's for the government to bring it. They have the numbers, they have the control of cabinet, they have control of drafting and so forth. If I was the premier or the part of the cabinet, I would commit to having those done immediately, as that's the people's will, regardless of what the topic is. I know it's controversial on both topics, but we have to move forward. A referendum is a serious decision, and the people have spoken, and that's what democracy is about. It's about the majority. So that's all I can say to him in that respect. I don't want him to think that because it's marijuana decriminalization or because it's a national lottery that my commitment to democracy is any different. I'm happy to show him where I've held the government accountable to what the timelines are. But it's really for him to call in when the government is on and say, you are in power, when are you going to bring it? I can only continue to voice, and I've been doing that. The other part, OC, I know you may have to go to a break again too, but there's another part that has not come up on the order paper. And you may recall from the last meeting of the House, sitting of the House, that there was a list of revenue measures that were announced by the Minister of Finance on behalf of the government, which has caused much conversation and concern for the future of the cost of living and the effects on the average person. Obviously, the government has suggested that it will not impact the average person. I think there's a lot of disagreement with that, feeling that there will be a trickle-down impact on the average person. And I won't go through the details of them right now, but just to say that there were announcements in the last sitting suggesting that some of those revenue measure changes needed in legislation would be coming up in these 3 days. Now, unfortunately, we have not seen what those bills are because if you recall, the list of revenue measures fall in a number of different categories, from financial services to driver's license to work permit fees to lawyer fees to accounting fees and so forth. So there's various different pockets of legislative changes needed. some in regulation, which is secondary legislation, and primary legislation, which is the act itself. The ones in regulation, they can do that in cabinet and announce it. But the ones in primary legislation would have to come to Parliament. Now, I do know that the minister had announced that he intended to bring some of those in this 3-day sitting before Christmas. We have not been notified what they are, so we can't speak to them. But what I do know is going to come up is the national conversation as to these list of fees and the potential impact on the community. I don't think I've gone to any person thus far over the last 3 weeks that have not brought up the concern about what these large set of fees are going to do to the overall cost of living of the country. Now, the government has defended themselves or suggested that they will not impact the average person. I think that there's a lot of debate that may come up as a result of that, because indications are that it will trickle back to the average person. I won't do that debate now, but I say it because it may pop up on the order paper with an amended order paper or potentially being on the order paper for tomorrow. So we may find ourselves debating at the 11th hour a bill about a new revenue measure, which have been previously announced. And the difference between the two is you may have announced it before of your intention, but the drafting to the words that will go in the clauses within the bill as to what the changes are, unless it's simply numbers, we have to examine what the words say and then approve them. So it's not going to be a surprise, but it gives the opportunity for the discussion about what these revenue measures are going to do to the overall economy, which I know many people have been speaking amongst themselves. I think even some people have called in your show, and I'm quite sure that you've talked to your colleagues and friends in your peer group about what the potentials are, because it's all projections, right? But I think there's strong merits in saying that though they're not directly to a Caymanian may be affected. And I'll give you a small example. The biggest fear for me is the effect on small Caymanian business owners who depend heavily on outside labor. Now, most people will be like, well, hire Caymanians. The truth be told, there's only about 4% unemployment amongst Caymanians. Even if we hired every single one of them, you still not make up for close to 60% of our labor market is Caymanians. So ultimately what you're going to do is increase the cost of doing business for those small business Caymanian owners. So they're going to be affected, and without any price control legislation, they're going to pass on those costs of products and services to you and I, the average consumer of those products and services. So the cost of living, in my humble opinion, will increase. And the last concern I have about this area is that the inflation rate was not calculated within the most recent numbers of 2.3%. So these list of fees now will have to be recalculated by the Economics and Statistics Office as to what the inflation rate will be over 2026 and 2027, which that means for those who are listing an inflation rate, that means you need 2.3% more money to live in that year.
Exactly.
And that is expected to increase. So we'll have that debate. It may come up. So immigration may not be the only topic in this sitting.
Okay, we're going to take that commercial break that you were talking about. When we return, if you could speak to, in talking about the fees, whether or not any mention was made previously in Parliament in relation to the input coming from industry, some of those industries, some of those entities that will be highly impacted, by these fees as well, to see what feedback they may have received from them. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less. And props, she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
Rocky's Diamond is making Christmas shopping a whole lot easier. Check out their selection of watches, earrings, and more on Facebook and Instagram, and shop online at rockysdiamonds.com. Save 20% off with coupon code XMAS25, and they'll deliver right to your door. Or stop by the Rocky's Diamond showroom at 28 North Church Street, Waterfront Center. Don't wait till the last minute. These deals just won't last. Rocky's Diamond Christmas Sale at rockysdiamonds.com. Proceeds from the Rocky's Diamond Christmas Sale will also go to support the Spread the Word International Ministries campaign to support kids in Jamaica this Christmas season.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're going to rejoin the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, on the phone lines. If you want to call in, toll-free number, 1-800, WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Also try 949-8037. You can have a three-way conversation with me, with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition as well. Mr. Bryan, back over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you. I think you were saying before the break and before any caller calls in for me to answer a question, was about the feedback from private sector.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I want us to go back a little bit because it's important. Process is important to the examination and scrutiny of what we are doing in Parliament on behalf of the people. And I want us to recognize that the Honourable Minister of Finance and the government, on behalf of his government, only announced these fees in detail after the debate. So therefore, we had no chance to discuss the specifics as to what the impact would be on the average person and stand up on behalf of the people if there's disputes as to what those changes would be and the effects of them. So I suspect that there will be much debate on any revenue measure because that was circumvented. And in my humble opinion, in all due respect to the Honourable Ralston Anglin, I think that was a political strategic move, is to not announce them until after the debate, which he announced them during Finance Committee, because recognizing that every member of opposition would have 2 hours to examine, scrutinize, and call and critique those revenue measures and the impacts. So the question throughout Finance Committee, throughout the whole processes was, where was the consultation? And one common theme continued to be the response by each minister is the consultation is continuing. Now, when you think about that, that is a very disturbing fact because these revenue measures are being depended on to balance the projected budget for 2026 and 2027. So if you've already approved that you need these monies in order to balance your budget to have, I think the projected surplus is just under $8 million in 2026 and just over $10 million in 2027, if my memory serves me well. It could be a little bit a difference of a variance. But in that small margin, if you haven't finished your consultation yet, what happens if there's disagreement within those who you consult with, whether it's private sector or the general public, as to those revenue measures? You can't change them because you're already depending on them to balance your budget. And any variation of those changes means you could potentially have a deficit. That's procedurally wrong, and that's not how you run a government, in my humble opinion. So I think that we in the opposition have tried to do our due diligence by meeting with private sector. Now, I won't go into the details as to which agencies we spoke to, because a common theme was being presented to us by the many associations is that their reluctance to say very much because there's a fear of nationalism by way of saying, oh, you're only saying that because you're not for Caymanians. So there's a general concern, and I hate to use this word, but I remember one of the associations saying that there's almost a Trump effect, like you're afraid to say anything, even if you don't agree with it, because there'll be a pushback on the business community. So I sense there's a reluctancy to speak by many of the associations and industry members as to the effect of these fees on the relevant sectors, whether it be tourism, financial services, construction, and just general labor from the immigration perspective. We had HR professionals talking about, you remember me speaking to you earlier, HR professionals already saying that the way the immigration law amendments are, they're already finding loopholes because what they're saying they're intending to do and what is within the clause sentence structure of the proposed amendments don't quite deliver what you're intending. And that's why the scrutiny process and examining what you're trying to get done is done. We most times we depend heavily just on the legal drafters, but the more people who look at it, the more clarity you can get and make sure that it's ever tested in the courts, that it delivers what you want it to do. So going back to the answering the question of whether there's been consultation, according to what we have heard back from majority of the associations is, particularly for the immigration one, they felt that there was a genuine enough time for consultation. Where there's disagreements, but they have been consulted. In respect to the revenue measures, they felt that there was no consultation and therefore have not gotten an opportunity to express the concerns of what these revenue measures may do by way of impact to the various industries. And that brings up a concern for me, which is, will your projected revenue numbers actually come to fruition by your expectations of what revenue you're going to receive? And one thing I noticed that has not been done is a outside independent projected impact to say, okay, not all the time that you increase the revenues, that means that you're going to, or increase the fees, that you're going to get the revenue you think you're going to get. And we've already had concerns about government's ability to do proper projections. And I won't go back down that road of the elections report projecting a $27 million deficit, and now having today government announcing there's going to be a surplus. So we know there's problems with the projection system. So my concern is recognizing we have failings in our ability to project properly within the core civil service. How can I rely on the projections for the revenues, and they haven't consulted with the various industry sector members, because it could potentially cause a slowdown in business and, as a result, business fees and so forth. And I'm not convinced that they've done enough consultation with these impacts and what it will do to cost of living for the average person, what it will do for business sector ability to operate, and the cost of doing business, which will trickle back to the average person, whether or not those revenue intentions are going to be met, particularly with such small margins of surplus projected for 2026 and 2027. So I don't feel there's enough independent analysis, and I think that the fact that they only done it in Finance Committee, we haven't seen a proper scrutiny process for those projected revenue measures, which is, I think, in my over the 2-year period, is close to $300 million. Now, normally in any other Commonwealth jurisdiction, there is a revenue select committee that previews those and examine it first to see what the impacts on the economy is going to be and whether the projections are right and so forth before it comes to Parliament. Unfortunately, within our democratic structure, we don't have that scrutiny process. It's simply up to the government members. And I was hoping to hear from the Minister of Finance and the Premier and the wider core government to say, we've done our economic analysis, and this is what we believe. Here's what we've done. This is what we project is going to happen. Now, they've said these things, but one would say it's biased because you're obviously going to try to deliver what you want, but you haven't done the consultation yet, so how do you know it's going to deliver? So there's a lot of questions about that, and I think even with the public not having a degree in economics, they can see themselves that, oh, that's going to affect me. For example, the work permit for a helper is going to go up just by the application to $500, and the fee for the work permit itself can potentially go up to 400%. Now, that's not directly considered direct taxation, but it's going to affect every Caymanian who has a helper. Their cost is going to go up. And for like small businesses with their labor components and so forth. And we heard about the increase in water authority rates up by 3% for next year and the year after. So there has to be discussions about this because I think most people are concerned about it. I think the government has every intention to hold fast in their position. But if you ask me today as a member of the opposition, I think the cost of living is going to increase heavily in 2026 without any intentions of having a cost of living adjustment, particularly for the civil service. And I don't think the private sector is going to be able to give a cost of living increase either because the cost of doing business will increase. So I'm a bit worried.
Okay.
I guess I'm summarizing it in that way.
I'm going to interrupt you again just to go to a commercial break. Do we have any callers on hold, Ms. Susan? No callers on hold. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Have your say on fishing in Cayman in a public survey available now until January 9th. The Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability is running a public survey on local fishing and proposed changes to who can fish in our waters and what fish and shellfish they can take. Share your views online or at community booths across the islands. Visit publicconsultation.gov.ky for all the details. Your voice can help shape the next chapter for fishing in the Cayman Islands.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I reconnect with our guest, the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Member of Parliament, Mr. Kenneth Bryan, just want to advise the listening and viewing audience that the Department of Education Services staff will be working remotely today, Wednesday, the 10th of December. Their office is temporarily closed today to allow for building-related safety checks following a motor vehicle incident that occurred at the premises on Tuesday night, the 9th of December. During this closure, Department of Education Services staff will be working remotely, and all services remain fully accessible via email and telephone. For general assistance, you can contact the reception desk at 936-0638. Staff may also be contacted directly via email or their assigned mobile numbers. Regular in-person operations are expected to resume on Thursday, the 11th of December at 8:30. So, Department of Education Services, their staff will be operating remotely as a result of a vehicular accident that took place yesterday, Tuesday, that apparently did some damage to the building. Mr. Bryan, next week, Wednesday, of course, would be the 17th, and we're closing off on the 19th here on For the Record. So hopefully you and your colleagues will be in the studio. Meanwhile, if there's something that you want to talk about the holidays and, involving your constituents, I want to give you an opportunity to do so now, or you may want to wait until later on to do so as well. Ms. Susan, you were saying something as well? Ms. Susan? Okay. Mr. Bryan. Sorry.
Yes, Mr. Connor. I would definitely wait to be there with my colleagues in studio to wish the Cayman Islands and our people a happy holiday spirit at that time. But I want to take this opportunity to send my love and thoughts and sympathies to the Macfield family, who unfortunately lost one of their family members. I know that you are probably aware by now, most of the public knows. Hank Macfield, who is a foundation member of our community, have gone and left us. Happy to know that his life was given to the Lord. So we hope and pray that he's in a better place. But I want the public to think about his two daughters, his wife, and his extended brothers and sisters throughout this time, and pray for them. And if you know them personally, send them a message of encouragement and support throughout this time. Mr. Connor, I'm going to now take the opportunity to just say happy belated Thanksgiving, and wrap up today's proceedings to say that I encourage everybody to tune in to YouTube on the Parliament website, or on YouTube for Parliament discussion today, which starts at 2 p.m. and is scheduled to continue for the next 3 days. To pay attention to what's happening. There's a lot of significant things that are going to impact the quality of your life in a good way, and in potentially, my perspective, a potential bad way over the next 2 years. And those discussions are vital to you. If you have any concerns or input, you can always reach out to us at the People's Progressive Movement, and it's each member to voice those concerns, and we'll do our endeavor best to bring them up. So we not have the numbers to make those necessary changes, but we will definitely advocate and bring it to the government's attention. And if the government chooses not to take those things into consideration or to present those things on your behalf, you can take away from that what you need. But we will do our job as the official opposition. We're trying our endeavor best not to just be there to disagree, but to make sure that the outcome that comes out of Parliament is in the best interest for all. And that's our commitment, and we will continue to do that. So on behalf of my leader, the Honourable Joseph Hugh, and all the other members, God bless you today and for the rest of the week, and we look forward to working on your behalf in Parliament over the next 3 days. Unless you have another question for me, OC, I love you and leave you there.
That's fine. I'm good. Thank you very much for making yourself accessible as well. And, of course, we will continue to follow the proceedings on in our Parliament starting at 2 p.m. today as well. Thank you. Thank you very much, Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, folks. We do have a caller. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, morning, OC. How you doing? Me again.
Morning.
tell me something, you know. Mr. Brian was there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to him and I called in and asked him a question. No, what really amazes me about him and Mr. Joey, and most of all the people members, I mean, really is did he ever mention in all that big, glorious speech what his plan was going forward if he was elected again and would be the leader, the deputy premier? I don't hear no projections.
In relation, are you talking generally, or are you talking about in relation to the referendum question on?
No. Listen, I know you're not doing nothing but the ganja. That's period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the country.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about potential increase that would hurt this one harm. I want to tell you something. This not his first rodeo. I've been preaching for money off of the trillions and billions they go into the Cayman Islands. 1%. 1%. Not saying nothing about that. Because you know why? Small mind thinks about small things. You know, so that is about his level. Him and Joey. It's about their level. Their level is in the gutter, right? Their level is
caller. You can disagree without being disagreeable. You can talk about people, you know, without going to the gutter like you're doing and disparaging people. That's not what we are all about. But you know what's happening? You're doing the things, some of the things that your approach, the way that you approach things, that's what some people want to hear. They want to hear us going at each other. You're falling into that trap. Be careful.
Okay, Mr. O.C. Okay, let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something truthfully, sir, about the truth, right? If I tell you the truth in a nice, sentimental poem, if I tell you the truth in a song, if I tell you the truth with a lot of dirty words, backyard words, you know what it boils down to? The truth.
Yeah, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me rephrase. I'm sorry for the low-level approach that I made. I can come in on a high plane now. I can only address a situation as I see it, right? And I don't see, well, I don't hear it, and I don't see it about the future. When you got an opposition mean thing, you talk about the government in rating.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, see, if I am the government in rating, shouldn't I have a plan different from your plan?
Yeah, but if I may interrupt you for a second, if the government in waiting starts to talk, remember now there can only be one government at a time. You can't have two governments, right? So if any opposition, not necessarily this one, but any opposition were to start to say, this is what I would do, this is what I would do, you would hear people saying they're trying to govern the country when they're not actually in control of the government. Most opposition will wait until the timing is right for them to say what they're going to do, which is usually when an election is imminent. I just want to point that out to you.
Okay, sir. Okay, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
No, let me get it straight. I got mental issues, but I'm not too stupid, you know. I have, yeah. So, what you are saying to me now? What you're saying to me that the opposition can just go and beat the government to smithereens but don't put up their ideas, their solutions.
That wasn't. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm not putting no more in your mouth. Okay, you fell into the vortex, you know. You be careful with me. Don't get too close to the vortex, because you can get drawn in, brother.
Yeah, you already drew me, and I'm going to close you off in a second.
I know that.
But
I know that.
yeah, you know that. But there, just like I said earlier, people want to hear us argue on the radio and go at each other's throat. I'm not going to go at you that way, but I will be contacting you personally in relation to some comments and one particular word that you used on Facebook. I will deal with you person to person in terms of talking to you about it rather than doing it on the radio. I'm going to ask you to leave me there so we can take the last commercial break and that we can take the next caller. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
At Mise en Place & Co., it's more than food. It's tradition rising from the bake shop. It's community coming together at the Barista Cafe. It's time back for the things you love with Boxed. It's knowing they'll eat well because of Yum. It's memories being made with Mise en Place events, and it's a moment shared over a slice of Gino's Pizza. Because everything we make, from our kitchens to your table, is made right here in Cayman. Explore Mise en Place & Co.'s family of brands at miseenplace.ky.
From the Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing. Book your driver's written test online today. Skip the queue and pick up a time that works for you. Head to dvdl.gov.ky, tap online services, then book theory exam. Select your date and time, receive instant confirmation, and arrive ready. Online booking applies to written tests only. Questions? Visit dvdl.gov.ky or contact your nearest DVDL office. DVDL, faster, simpler, more convenient. That's dvdl.gov.ky.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have about 12 minutes left to go in the show. One caller on hold in the meantime. One of our listeners had written in, but I believe Deputy Leader of the Opposition had left by then. The person wanted me to ask Mr. Bryan what was his intended goal for the solution to the problems of runaway immigration when he billboarded his interest in bringing attention to it when he was not the minister responsible. With that, we go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and I think it's high time I extend some season greetings to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And same to you.
Before I go any further, what about Dr. Steve, is he not coming in the show?
Well, this is one of the mornings that I would have had him on if I had been aware that we wouldn't have any persons in the studio. I'm going to work to at least have him on one slot before we break next week, Friday, for the Christmas.
Sounds good. Having said that, I just want to commend Mr. Bryan for some of the things I've seen him done in Georgetown, the capital.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed, driving through there in the night, and it's beginning to look like a capital now. And I want to congratulate him because I knew him for quite some time, and I think he's a fine gentleman. And I think he has all of the best ideas to put things for our country. And I wish I could have had a word with him while he was with you, but that's another story. But I think he's doing a good job, and I just hopefully have some time to extend greetings to him as well. So, Georgetown is looking much better now than it did before. And if he had the opportunity as he had before, I think you would see much more happening into the town, which is our capital. That's our island. So, haven't said enough this morning, and I just want to wish you again all the best for the season, and hopefully I'll see you before Christmas comes. So take care of yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and the same to you and your family as well, sir. One of our listeners said cost of living has gone up already. I think they're talking about yard work. They used to charge $10 per hour. Now they're charging $11 per hour. Next year it will go up again. When the minimum wage goes up as well. The person says that they're 80 years old and they're unable to do their own yard work anymore. So yes, those persons with fixed incomes, any cost of living increases will certainly affect them more than anyone else, I would imagine. Let's grab our next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Is that the WhatsApp number, Miss Landline? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning again, OC.
Good morning again.
Yeah. I too would like to congratulate, comment the deputy leader for coming on and having the audacity to open up the lines to be confronted by callers. But I also too understand some of what Elvis was saying to the point where his opinion of somebody not being competent because they were the one who said that they were competent to do what need to be done. And if you're going to criticize and you don't have no solution of what you would do if you were there, I can kind of see where Elvis was coming from. And a lot of the things he says, really got a lot of merit, except, I'm not the ganja weed smoker type, because my friends, Mac McLean and them, made it well known in East End at an early age that wasn't for me. I was very lightheaded with the word they used to use. So I'm not on the level with him with that, but there are a lot of things. He's a very, very intelligent individual, and he goes really sort of overboard sometimes with his opinion by the way he stated, like it's a known fact.
Yeah, and everyone has their own style.
Yeah. So, that's basically his style, and if he was more legally inclined, I think he would be a little more careful with sometimes the way he do his wording. To the fact that opinions, like the lady who called in concerning what I said this morning, that her brother left Cayman Airways because he wanted to fly the world. I know where other pilots left, and it wasn't because of that.
For other reason,
it was because of that he wasn't properly treated, it wasn't promoted. I know of a young man, or a Caymanian, who was the youngest captain in the world flying the largest bird in the sky. Can you imagine that, OC? Really? And now that he went so far away from home, he was so anxious to get back close to home that he now come back and flying, I think in Sarasota or somewhere around that in the South America area for a private company and flying the NFL players and all that kind of thing around the world, wherever they got to go. So it's not that they don't want to fly for Cayman Airways. I just think it's the way that they're being treated, you know.
Lord Graham, I want to try to grab one more caller before we go. That caller's been trying to get through and been being disconnected. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lord Graham. Let's grab our last caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi.
Compliments of the season to you and your family.
Thank you, and everybody in radio came on to. I know you all are working overtime. I just wanted to weigh in on the little conversation that was happening after Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Bryan, left. I think we need to appreciate everybody has their role. Thankfully, we live in a country where there's still freedom of speech to some degree. And people must be able to get their points across. And I do agree with Mr. Elvis in the sense that he should be able to get his points across. But I also agree with you that there's a way to do so and not to be necessarily be insultive and to do so in a constructive manner. And I say that because this is the second time I think I have heard Mr. Elvis go on the radio after Mr. Bryan speaks. And has been insultive. And I do think it takes away from the points that he's trying to make. Okay? I would like to hear his points, but I'd like to cut through perhaps the commentary. Whether it's really not for the opposition to lay out their plan, in responding to everything the government does. If I remember correctly, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I can be subject to correction, that when the debate for the budget happened, there was no debate on the budget.
Right.
In Parliament. And I, as a civilian, was sitting down in my living room waiting to hear the government and the opposition deliver the debate on the budget to the people. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a reason why these exercises take place and why they're public. And I was very, very concerned about that. Right? So the work that should have been happening when the budget was moved was then transferred over to Finance Committee, and that's the wrong forum for that kind of discussion. Right?
Yep.
So whilst I do agree that, in some instances and in certain circumstances, the opposition, any opposition should not just complain. There is a system of government that we work in, and there's certain opportunities and formal opportunities where the different aspects of government have an opportunity to put their case or to raise questions, and that did not happen this budget cycle.
Yep.
Right?
And the people deserve to hear from all of their representatives.
Right. So I am not surprised, and I cannot blame whether it is Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Bryan, or a member of the public to continue to raise, quite frankly, budget questions over the next 4 years, because the society and the government, all aspects of the government, when I'm talking the opposition, there could have even have been some members. I don't know if there are members in the government who are planning to talk. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Right? But what I do know is that the governance opportunity in our parliamentary rules did not take place.
Yep.
Right? So
you're absolutely right.
The government and the opposition, or the government as a whole, is going to Parliament to discuss the immigration bill at 2 o'clock this afternoon and other things. And I came on this radio, and I already said to you that this is a rush job. I'm not even sure where to begin with this, and I'm not sure where this is going. So we'll see what we all make out of this meal as we all listen to the committee stage amendments to see if there's any discussions around that. Right? Because there's some real changes are in that bill, and the time has not been enough. Right? So we will hear, because if one thing I have learned in my short life so far is that there's no free lunch. Right?
So
if
true.
you get it wrong at that level, there's a price to pay. And we will see what comes out in the wash.
And caller, before you go, don't forget that we are here on Radio Cayman. Will not be carrying it live on Facebook. You would be able to follow it, but otherwise it will be rebroadcast afterwards. So you can go on to the government website or CIG TV or the parliamentary website as well to follow it live.
Yeah, I usually listen on YouTube, but
Okay.
I'm just saying that we all have right of freedom of speech, but we have to be able to communicate, as you say, constructively. Right, and everybody has their roles. Now, I would like to continue to hear Mr. Elvis, and I'd like to continue to hear Mr. Bryan, and I'd like to continue to hear all of them that come on. All right? Thank you.
And if they all could follow your example, it would be lovely. It would be lovely. You have a great day. All the best to you and your family, and I'm sure that we'll talk before the holidays as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, folks, I want to thank all of you who listened in this morning, those of you who called in as well. And while we may disagree on certain points in certain areas, like the last caller said, that's part of the democratic process. And to a certain extent, we still, have the right of free speech here in the Cayman Islands, while some people may be of the opinion, rightly so or not, that because we are a small jurisdiction, everybody knows everybody, that it is much easier for you to be identified, for you to be targeted, as well. But we always want to ensure that we stand up, for those persons who find themselves victims of a system that may seek to curtail their voice, to stifle their voice as well. So I want to remind you also that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we should extend a helping hand to them, especially during the holiday season as well. We always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So, folks, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Mr. Charles Glidden Challo at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Information, entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since